Hey y'all, Eric here with today's video. Just happened to be on Facebook, trying to get my coffee in here before I get some food in me before I do my exercises, and then get into the business of the day. And happened to see a post by Occupy Democrats, um, who posted a message from Brian Tyler Cohen, who's the podcast host of No Lie on YouTube, regarding Mike Johnson's post today regarding the blue wave last night. And I'll just throw it up here for you. So, see, this is just letting you know who we're dealing with. Um, for anyone who's been living under a rock or out in space, Mike Johnson is the Speaker of the House and the bootlicker and ring kisser in chief of Donald Trump. And he said, Republican Speaker Mike Johnson just said that, quote, what happened last night was blue states and blue cities voting blue. We all saw that coming, unquote. Mike Johnson is stupid. He needs to take his ass back to Louisiana, and maybe do some damage down there, more damage than the Louisianians haven't seen anyway. And maybe once he comes down there, they'll just figure out a way to keep him out of office. He is not for the will of the people. But the message goes on to say from Brian Tyler Cohen, sorry, Mike, but Democrats flipped two statewide seats in red Georgia, flipped two legislative seats in red Mississippi, which broke the Republican supermajority there, and ran the table in purple Virginia. But whatever you got to tell yourself. Mm-hmm. So whatever Mike Johnson, John Thune, and Donald Trump, along with his minions in there, particularly his deputy chief of staff, whatever they got to tell themselves to get through the day, whether it's on Truth Social, X, or whatever platform, just the spin, the gaslighting, and the lies. Virginia is not a blue state. It is clearly a red state, a purple state. Pennsylvania is not a blue state. Donald Trump won Pennsylvania, and yet Pennsylvania kept the courts balanced out for the rule of law by not putting MAGA supported justices on that Supreme Court. The people of California voted to redraw their district lines, not Governor Newsom, but the people of California passed Prop 50 as a mechanism to stop the steal. Remember, I'm appropriating Donald Trump and MAGA's phrase about stop the steal when they tried to overthrow the government to keep Donald Trump in power. California has done something the right way to counteract the legislature of the state of Texas. And do you know how they tried to spin it? That in the state of Texas, it is not the people or the governor that redraws the lines, it is the legislature. What she failed to understand is that the redistricting is not supposed to happen until the census happens. The purpose of redrawing the lines is based on population movement. What could settle this all is if the House of Representatives will just go ahead and put an anti-gerrymandering law in place and just stop all of this. It will keep the Democrats and the Republicans in check. And we don't even have to talk about this. But the Republicans are the punks in this. They're the ones who are bootlicking and kissing the ring of Donald Trump to find some kind of way, legally or not, to keep him in power after the midterm elections. Because if Tuesday night was any indication, thank you Virginia, thank you New Jersey, thank you New York, thank you Pennsylvania, and thank you California, with a shout out to Georgia and Mississippi for stepping up. If Tuesday was any indication, because even here in Charlotte, one of the current sitting Republican board council members was defeated, and that district that he represented is one of the last competitive districts in the city, and it flipped to Democrat. So essentially, there is only one Republican representative on Charlotte City Council for the next term. The state legislature of North Carolina said that the people of this country gave a mandate that Donald Trump's policies should go forward, and that's why they were redrawing this district. Ha ha! The 7+ million people that marched on No King's Day, that was the catalyst. And yesterday was the blue wave to let them know that it is the people's mandate, not Donald Trump's mandate. It is the people's mandate that is what matters. If that is any indication, and I don't believe I finished my thought, Donald Trump is in for a world of hurt next year during the midterms. We cannot rest on our laurels. Now, for context, no, I'm not registered as a Democrat. I am an independent. Technically, I'm registered as unaffiliated. But I'm one of those people that the pollsters and everybody talks about, well, we can go either way. Well, they've never talked to me. They've never talked to me. Because had I been in Virginia, I would have aligned myself with the gay lieutenant government because I want to prop up my candidates. But that gay lieutenant governor is a MAGA supporter and started talking about Nazi crap. That's why he lost. So I will say this. Just because somebody is in your tribe doesn't mean they are righteous. They're not. Something my grandmother used to tell me, and I didn't understand it was until I started paying attention to politics. So there's today's note before, and I'll bring this back up as I wrap up this video. Whatever you have to tell yourself, Mike Johnson, remember, #elections have consequences, but resistance, and we saw this yesterday, resistance is not futile. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.